Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to talk about the future of Sergi Roberto. Where do we stand regarding this player? Is Sergi Roberto going to be continuing with FC Barcelona, yes or no? Then later in the video, we're also going to be talking about the Spanish national team. We have seen the squad list that is going to be taken towards that tournament under the management of Luis Enrique. And then lastly, we are going to be talking about the future of Xavi Hernandez and where does his future stand with FC Barcelona. So all of this is going to be discussed within today's video. But before we go into that topic, I do want to talk about the OneFootball app. The OneFootball app is considered as the best football app you could find within the App Store. If you want to look at the latest player stats, team stats, how your team is currently performing during the league or in the Champions League, all of that is going to be compact into one app. And the best thing from all of this is that if you are in the UK, the OneFootball app is going to officially start showing La Liga highlights. So if you do support Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, FC Barcelona, the highlights is going to be there within the OneFootball app. The link is going to be in the description box down below. You would also be able to support this channel. But now let's get back into the video. And so let's first talk about Sergi Roberto and his future. Now it says here, there has been a report coming from Nico Navarro who has stated, and I quote, "There is currently no progress in Sergi Roberto's renewal. And so far, as of right now, there is no scheduled date for a new meeting either." Then we also do have another report coming from the agent of Sergi Roberto, and this is what he told Mundo Deportivo, and I quote, "Everything is stopped. It can also be reactivated at any time." Now, looking at this, right, seeing how Sergio Roberto's future with FC Barcelona does look very dim, it is very strange to hear this because we have heard previous reports about Barcelona and Sergio Roberto finding an agreement, that there is an agreement for Sergi to stay at Barcelona for 2 years with a salary reduction of 30 to 35%. Now, what is holding this deal back? Is it because of the cut? Is it too large? Does Sergio Roberto want more years with FC Barcelona? And here's the thing, right, if something does end up going on with Sergio Roberto and they cannot find an agreement, right, it's going to be very unfortunate to see because all captains have already agreed on a salary reduction with FC Barcelona, like Jordi Alba, Gerard Piqué, Sergio Busquets, and now the only player that is missing that is considered as the captain, it is Sergi Roberto. Now, I do want to make one statement. I do believe that if Barcelona actually do not find an agreement and we lose Sergi Roberto next summer, it is not going to be the biggest loss because Barcelona is a team that does have many areas covered. We have the midfield very covered. We have the right back position also very covered. And there has been other interest coming from other clubs like Manchester City, who Pep Guardiola really does want. So Sergio Roberto does have many choices if they cannot lock a deal with his current club. Now here's going to be my speculation. This is just my feeling. What I am going to be saying here moving forward, it is not going to be factual. It is just my speculation. But here it is. I do believe that one of the main reasons why there is a setback on this deal actually happening, it is because Barcelona and Joan Laporta and Mateo Alemán and Yuste are all getting ready for the new manager. And they want to understand what this new manager is going to want to do with Barcelona and what is going to be his opinion on Sergio Roberto. Does that new manager, whoever that may be, actually want to retain Sergio Roberto? Because if that manager, whether it's Xavi Hernandez, Pep Guardiola, Luis Enrique, Ten Hag, Klopp, Tuchel, whoever that may be, right, if that manager ends up saying that they do not want to have Sergi within the squad because they believe that they have other squad players that would be able to fulfill his role, it would make no sense to renew this player in the first place. And you are just going to be stuck with that player and the coach ends up never playing that player on the field. Now moving on towards the next topic of today, and we are going to be talking about the Spanish national team. Now speaking about Sergio Roberto, let's continue to talk about this player because if you were to look at this picture here, there are some very strange numbers on these players, and especially when it comes to Roberto because he has received the number 10 shirt. Now this is also telling us that the Spanish national team does not have many attacking players, which is why I believe that we see Gavi with the number 9, which is why we see Sergio Roberto with the number 10. Yes, do we have Brian Gill, who is a great attacker? Yes, but there is very minimal attackers that this Spanish national team does have. But aside from that, right, part of the reason why I do want to bring this up is because I want us to analyze the players that are going to be playing under Luis Enrique, because many of these players that are in Barcelona and are in this squad list, they are going to be functioning in a very different system. So first things first, Ansu Fati is not going to be in this squad list for the Nations League. Ansu Fati will not be available, and that makes sense, right, because he is coming back from an injury and he does need to continue to recover more and more. So it does make sense. As for Eric Garcia, I would love to see how Eric Garcia does perform under a team that actually has a structure. Are we going to continue to see Garcia struggle defensively, yes or no? Because this is going to be a team, right, Spain, that is going to be wanting to hold possession. So there is going to be very minimal chances where we are going to be seeing Eric Garcia actually suffer defensively. As for Busquets and Gavi, are these going to be two players that will be able to dominate the opposition, right? Dominate the ball, because again, under Luis Enrique, he does have a team team that is going to be wanting to demand possession. That is what the Spanish national team is as of now. And let me tell you guys, Gavi and Busquets, if they're going to be having the ball 80% of the time against Italy in that game, we would love to see that, because we don't really see Busquets and Gavi have the ball 80% of the time. At Barcelona, we always lose the ball. We always give the opposition a chance to work the ball around us. And now that we're going to be seeing Gavi and Busquets work together under Luis Enrique, a coach that wants to have the ball, I would love to see what Gavi and Busquets can do with the ball. Let me tell you guys, we're going to be seeing a very different Gavi, a very different Busquets. Many of us do talk about how Gavi is a workhorse and how he likes to track back and take the ball immediately when the opposition does have it. But what would happen if Gavi actually retains the ball 80% of the time? Can he actually distribute great final third passes? Can he make great through balls? Can he distribute what we do see in Pedri and Riqui Puig? It's going to be so interesting, and especially seeing what Gavi can do against a very tough Italian side. Now let's move on towards the next topic of today, and I do want to talk about the future of Xavi Hernandez, because we have also heard reports about what Joan Laporta and Rafa Yuste do think of Ronald Koeman. And it says here, according to Catalan Radio, Joan Laporta discussed Ronald Koeman's future with VP Rafa Yuste, who is currently in favor of Koeman's continuity at Barcelona, and he has recommended this move towards the president, which is Joan Laporta. Now, it is quite clear, based off this report, that they are in favor of Koeman's continuity. But I would really like to challenge this piece of news, right? This report. Like, much respect towards the journalist that made this report in Cat Radio, but the one thing that I would like to say is this. I just do not believe that Joan Laporta is okay with continuing Ronald Koeman at Barcelona after what we have seen against Benfica, after what we have seen against Atletico Madrid, tying against Cadiz, tying against Granada, losing 3-0 against Bayern Munich. There has been so many poor performances where I just do not believe that Joan Laporta is actually okay with continuing Ronald Koeman. What I actually believe is actually going on here is that he is struggling to make a decision. Because let me tell you guys, back on June 2021, it was so clear that Joan Laporta wanted Ronald Koeman out from FC Barcelona, right? He told Koeman that he is going to be trying to find a replacement as of now, but if they cannot find a replacement, then Koeman will be continuing, right? That was the communication and the meeting that they did have. And let me tell you guys another thing. I do not think that Joan Laporta would be saying this if he knew that he had a financial problem at Barcelona. What I believe the problem is right now, it is because of the sporting problem, the sporting decision. What is going to be the right move sportingly in order to bring the next and correct coach? And just really think about this. If Joan Laporta actually wanted Koeman out back on June, what makes you think that he now wants Koeman in as of today, after seeing what happened and the results that have taken place between that time and today? And so the only answer that I do see Joan Laporta having on who that coach could be to replace Koeman, it is going to be Xavi Hernandez. But what is holding that Xavi decision back? The only real reason I believe is holding Joan Laporta's decision to actually make this move happen, it has to be about the next matches that Barcelona is going to be having. They're going to be playing against Valencia at home, they're going to be playing against Dinamo Kiev at home, and they're going to be playing Real Madrid at home. 3 games that Barcelona have to win. And let me tell you guys, if Joan Laporta is thinking that, okay, if I place Xavi in these games and we end up with poor results against Valencia, Dinamo Kiev, and Real Madrid, it is going to be staining his image. I would say, yes, Joan Laporta, you are correct. If Xavi actually loses or ties against Valencia or Dinamo Kiev or Real Madrid, it is going to be staining his image in a way, because we know how these news outlets, right, these journalists like to blame many coaches for the results. We know how fast and how quickly they are to react when a new coach does come in and bring in poor results. And I do believe that that is why Laporta is hesitant on bringing Xavi right now. But here's what I would also say, right? I would also like to argue that if Joan Laporta actually thinks this, let me give you guys a great example. And I really want you guys to understand this. I'm going to be giving an example for college students and high school students. For the college students, if you had 3 bad, poor assignment gradings, right? You have a D, another D, and an F throughout that semester. Do you believe that those 3 assignments is going to be dictating what your semester is going to look like? And for the high schoolers, if you think that you had 3 bad test grades, you received a D, an F, and another D minus within that year, and you still have about 6 months to make up whether you're going to be going into the next grade, whether it's grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12, do you think that those 3 test assignments are going to be dictating what that year is going to look like and whether you're going to be passing towards the next grade? Yes or no? It's not, right? It's not, because it is too short term. For the college students, you're still going to be having more assignments and more tests in order to make up and finish strong in that semester. For the high school students, you're still going to be having way more assignments, way more tests in order to finish that year strong and potentially being able to go to the next grade or finish high school. And that is what I do think about Xavi Hernandez coming into Barcelona right now. Even though he does lose or tie against Valencia or Dinamo Kiev or Real Madrid, there are still so many ways Xavi Hernandez can still finish very strong in this season, because there are so many games. we still have the Copa del Rey. There is still a big chance that he could have a very great end result. I understand that it is going to be difficult for him to pull off great results against these teams, right? Because Pep Guardiola did not even have this complication when he first came in. He had a preseason, he had mid-table teams to face against in those first 16 to 18 days, but it is nothing close to what Xavi Hernandez could be facing within these next 3 to 4 weeks. But it would not be the end-all be-all for Xavi Hernandez if he were to come in today. But that is where I currently do stand with these reports at the moment. That is going to be wrapping up today's Barcelona Daily News. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. Please like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video.